Good morning!
Good evening!
Wherever you may be,
around the world,
you're listening to
Dark Side of Insanity
with Jamie and
James.
Woohoo!
Okay, it might be. I don't know.
It's probably me, myself. I don't know. I'm talking loud! Sorry. I have to be like screaming.
Then you might be like talking on mine. See, mine's going all the way in the red, so I don't know what's going up with that.
See, mine's not going in the red, but you can slightly hear me, so I had to talk very loud, so I'm sorry. I do have a video that I would like you to watch.
So hopefully her voice and everything's coming through. It could have been the pulling of the cords a little bit earlier. I don't know. Or maybe the way things are set up. But it's been a while. We did our first show Friday and it's been a while, so we're a little bit out of
whack here.
Out of whack. I mean, I could always try throw on the other headset and all that, see if that does any better. But if you want to call in, I've been advertising it. The call-in number is 256-717-5470, and the reason I said that was because I am trying to fix your microphone. Don't look at me that way.
I was like, what? No.
Yeah, so if you want to throw that number out again, feel free.
256-717-5470.
Use that one.
Okay, hold on. I'm trying. I don't like that. It ain't got the fuzzy thing on it. I gotta put my fuzzy thing on it.
Sorry, there's gonna be a little bit of static while she puts a fuzzy piece on her headset.
I wish it was pink.
But yeah, that's a lot better.
Okay.
Because I can't hear the audio, but I can see the waveform on there, and it's going up there.
There we go.
So I think this headset's
all right, you guys, I got it on.
That's a lot better.
Okay.
I think you're a lot louder than me. But while she's looking up the video, do you have the video?
I'm looking for
Or the audio to the video, since they can't see the video.
I'm looking for it.
All right. So, I've heard that 11 states are now in stay-at-home orders due to the coronavirus. So, if you're locked in and you're self-quarantining, you can give us a call at
256-717-5470. Alright, you guys, I actually do have a video where it says the Ohio Department of State Health issued a stay-at-home order because of the coronavirus. See if we can get it playing. I don't hear nothing.
No job.
Oh, we actually got a caller. Forget that. Hello.
Hey, how y'all doing?
I'm good. How are you?
You know, it's my weekend, so I'm great.
So, what's your name? Where are you from?
My name is Mike, and right now I'm in Phoenix, Arizona.
Awesome.
Arizona.
So, what's it like in Phoenix during the self-quarantine, stay-at-home stuff that's going on?
You know, it's like a ghost town, honestly.
Wow.
It's because, like, the bus drivers, I mean, we're getting, like, you know, free buses. We can't get near the drivers, anything like that. At work, because I work security.
Okay.
So we still have to work no matter what.
Right. Yeah, I used to work security. I worked security for 7 years, so I know exactly how that is.
But yeah, there's like, I think as of today, there's like 23 states now is what came down from our big boss is doing things. But
Wow.
Wow, we ain't one of them.
No, we're close in Arizona because we got everybody else doing that around us. So we're next.
So, do you wear the personal protective equipment, or?
You know, I work nights, so we don't see too many people, but I wear gloves, alcohol wipes, wipe down all my gear, a couple times a shift.
Right.
It's because we have to deal with contractors and, some public. So it's like, here's some gloves if you guys want this. Let me wipe down the doorknobs for you. If you guys want, anything else, let us know because we'll get it for you.
Okay. So, what all? I don't know. Is Arizona in a stay-at-home order?
For the most part, it's if you can do it, but it's not made official yet.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm expecting that here.
They're
any
saying
day.
like all like the bars and the restaurants are closed. It's takeout and delivery only for right now.
Right. It's the same way it is down here in Alabama.
Yeah.
See, a couple days ago, it's not been that long ago, there was a train that come through that had 42 of the Army tanks on it, and then a big Army helicopter come through, and it had about 30-something people on it, 36, I think.
Oh, wow.
People on it going over my grandparents' house. It was so low, it shook the trailer. It sounded like it was gonna shatter out the windows and crash into it, and then it looked like it was gonna crash into the trees.
So they're doing something like that similar here. We have I don't know the number to it, but you can call it up, and I guess like if you're elderly or can't get out or for whatever reason, like the National Guard will actually bring you food, like a food box. Is what they're doing for people here right now.
Well, that's awesome. Yeah, I heard that they are supposed to be helping out the medical and things like that. I'm hoping that's as far as it really goes, and it doesn't. Because I hear that people like in Florida are not staying at home; they're shoulder to shoulder on the beaches and things like that. It's good. I'm pretty sure that the president's probably going to have to do something drastic.
It would be good if he did. It's like stay at home. Let's, do something to, get this under control.
As long as he doesn't abuse the power.
Exactly. Do just enough,
Right.
But yeah, right now we're not really. They say if you don't have to be out and working, don't be out. But it's not really enforced.
Right.
Like in Phoenix and the surrounding areas, the homeless, they're trying to get like shelters for them so they can be, taken care of, and they're not going to be out spreading everything.
So, say if you was in, self-quarantining where you couldn't go out and, to work. I know it's security, you have to, but say if you wasn't, what would you be doing at home to keep yourself occupied?
Me and my sister actually live together, so probably a whole lot of Netflix and, radio shows, podcasts, just things like that, read books, just something like, if I didn't have to be out, I wouldn't.
Definitely. I think in the last 2 weeks, we've only been out twice. And that
Three.
3 times.
Think
It
three.
was to get food, to get propane for our heat, and what was the other
I
thing?
had to go to Walmart to get the kids some dog food.
Oh, okay. See, so you're doing your part.
Yeah, I work in a warehouse and I work in the Amazon department, and apparently they're not getting a lot of orders in, so they've completely canceled Amazon for like last week and this week.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So, yeah, even whenever I was going to work, I was like really nervous because we get things from all different kinds of countries that we're picking off the shelves, and even though they've been on a ocean for 30 days or something to get there, it still makes me nervous, even just to walk around the warehouse.
Oh, yeah. Because, like, where I work, obviously, Phoenix, we have spring training. So we get people from everywhere. And when they canceled everything, that's like, extra measures to keep everything clean and sanitized and, so.
Definitely. We use these RF scanners at the warehouse that we work at, and their protection thing for those, because they go from person to person, is they give us this little bitty like 1-inch alcohol pad, and it's like, how am I supposed to wipe down the whole gun with this?
Exactly. It's like you need a few of those.
But I think companies, a lot of them, I think they understand what's going on, but I don't know if they just don't have the resources, or I guess they're trying to do their best.
And that's, sometimes that's all they can do is their best. And, hopefully it works. Hopefully none of us get it.
Right.
hope
I
so.
don't want it.
No.
I stay home with a baby chick. I ain't going nowhere.
See, that's the way to do it.
If I leave,
And
I go right down the field and I go to my grandparents' house, but that's as far as I go.
See, like down in Alabama, do they do the same thing as they're doing here in Arizona? Is like if you go to the convenience store, you can't have your own cup anymore. They make you actually get a brand new cup. No refills, no nothing. Same thing down there.
Yeah, they're doing that here. They're doing that in Georgia.
Okay.
Yeah. How I knew about Georgia is because my biological mom lives in Georgia, and she went to the gas station to go fill hers up. They wouldn't even let her in the store.
Really?
Really? They wouldn't even let her in the store. She was going to buy a pack of cigarettes, and she went to open the door, and person come up with a can of Lysol, she said, and started spraying the door. Said it was shaking his head no.
Oh, that's funny.
I was like, oh, Lord.
Yeah, it's like today I went to fill the propane tank for our heat, and the person behind the counter wouldn't even come within like 10 feet of me. I just put the money down on the counter and walked out.
Oh, wow.
Something else funny? Okay, well, I ordered me some glasses, and what was it? UPS brought them. UPS wouldn't even come within so many feet of me. He took and he set my glasses on the ground and pointed at them. And
Oh,
he took
jeez.
off. He took off and hopped in his truck and hauled tail.
That's what they're doing where I work too. It's like, yeah, you can open the door. I'll just walk in, drop it off, keep your distance.
The one thing that I'm afraid with the virus, though, is that it's going to mutate and actually go like airborne or something, because viruses can do all different kinds of crazy things.
I've heard that too. Now, I don't know how true this is. So they said if it's airborne, it can last airborne like up to 3 hours. And then like if you touch cardboard or something like that, that's like like 6 or 8 hours it can live on that.
Yeah, I've heard that
So-
too.
I don't know how true that is. Somebody else was saying, it just sounds completely hilarious to me, is if you think you get it, they said take a blow dryer and use the blow dryer like up your nose, because the heat will actually kill the virus.
Lord.
Like, I'm not going to blow dry my nose, okay?
Blow drying your nose hair.
Exactly.
I had something forwarded to me. It was through a voice message, and it was a few minutes long. And it was talking about drinking hot liquids to clear out like your sinus cavities and to loosen up the phlegm from your throat, and so that it doesn't just stay in. I guess it gestates in like the throat and nasal cavities or something.
Yeah, something like, I've heard that too. Yeah, they said like hot liquid, like hot tea or hot coffee or something hot, because it's going to like break it down or something and kill it. Something, I don't know. I've heard something similar to what you just said about that.
So, I'm assuming that you heard of our show through Facebook or Instagram, or where did you?
Actually, Friday night, I was listening to the Paranormal Junkyard, and it came on, and it's like, oh, I like this show.
Yay.
Yeah,
So I'm all kinds of a happy little jelly bean because of it.
awesome. Yeah, we started the Paranormal Junkyard. It started out like as a podcast, and then eventually it grew into a radio station, and now we've got like 6 different shows that air at different times.
Oh, I'm so happy I found it. So happy.
But yeah, I was surprised how fast that the station actually grew. So we're ecstatic too. We love whenever people call in. So we're just really excited to have you call in.
Yeah, I'm excited because I'm the one that sent you the message earlier. Like, because I know you're in Alabama, and because I didn't know the time difference on everything. So
Right. I've been trying to get the guests on, but a lot of them are from the UK, and the time difference, I think 11 o'clock here is like 4 a.m. in the UK, and it's like, well, there goes that guest.
oh yeah.
But one thing that we are trying to do is get it set up so that whenever we have a guest on, we can also have callers call in to ask questions and things like that. So I'm kind of excited
even
about
better.
that. So I'm guessing that you started listening to the Paranormal Junkyard because Art Bell was playing on it, or?
Honestly, it's the name of it. Because I have like the paranormal radio app on my phone, and so I turned it on, and my sister's like, "What are you listening to?" I'm like, "I'm fine." I'm like, "Oh, Paranormal Junkyard." Just the name, I'm like, "That is awesome. I gotta try this out."
That is awesome to hear.
And the picture on there, it's perfect. It just works. And you got Art Bell, you got everything on there is just great. I turn it on at work.
That is awesome. So, yeah, I was surprised how many listeners we actually got whenever we got the Paranormal Radio app and was them having the station on there. So,
Yeah, it's because I listen to a podcast. It's a paranormal podcast. Jim Harold, the paranormal podcast. I actually heard about the app on his podcast.
Oh,
That's how I
okay.
found out about it.
Yeah, I've heard of Jim Harold. Actually, I think I tried to get him on as a guest, but he doesn't really respond to too many messages, I don't think. But
Oh, okay.
but yeah, I don't know if you. I blow up all kinds of Facebook groups, Instagrams, and everything, trying to advertise and things like that, trying to get guests on and trying to promote the show and network and all things like that. So
Yeah, and
See,
he's
that's
got
the hard part.
Yeah, he's got blocked a couple of thousands of times.
oh yeah,
Dude,
Facebook
that-
jail is my friend.
I will definitely do my part and network out here in Arizona for you.
That's awesome.
'Cause it's such a good show, and the whole thing is it's just great. It's you
Oh,
have
yeah.
a stressful time at work. I just turn on this, and I'm just happy. It's like cool. I can relax now.
That's awesome. I don't. Have you heard our first show? It's actually called The Paranormal Junkyard. It's I think it plays between 9 and 9:15 every day. That one actually has different paranormal guests. We've had the ghost hunters on.
We've had Brian Murray.
Yeah, all different.
Oh
kinds.
wow!
Yes.
I think I have heard that. Yeah.
But I know Wednesday we're having Craig. I can't think of his last name, but he's going to be he's a paranormal investigator and psychic medium and things, and that should be a good show.
Oh, that'll be great. I look forward to that one.
It will be a wonderful show because I'll have someone to connect to.
Mm-hmm.
Because I do paranormal stuff as well. I used to do investigating a while ago, and I kind of took a break from it, but I want to get back into it.
Ah.
Tell us a little bit about that.
It's just experiences that I've had that I'm a skeptical believer, I guess you would say is the best way to say it. Like, not everything that goes bump in the night is paranormal.
Right.
But there's some things it's, what did I just see? What did I just experience? And I have experiences at work.
Do you?
You know,
Wow.
I do. So, and they're interesting.
So have you caught anything on EVP or video or anything like that?
We actually, the most recent thing that happened, it was actually caught on video. But because it's, our CCTV, we can't, record from that. It has to stay like there.
Right.
So what I'm going to do is when I'm in that same area again at work, I'm going to try and take pictures. I'm going to try and use like the app on my phone to like get EVPs or something, just something.
Right. Yeah, that would be great.
They're back.
And, you've worked security, I work security. So I saw something and I'm like, what was that? And we were working with our, local police department on something. He's like, oh, yeah, that's normal for here. That's just a resident ghost. Don't worry about that. Like, oh, okay. Like, you say so.
Definitely. I've had some experiences where I've been walking and actually seen like full body apparitions, and it freaked me out because, I mean, especially whenever you're not out actually ghost hunting, it just catches you off guard.
It really does. And it's like, I don't scare easily, but it's like, that just made me nervous of what I just saw. And then it's backed up by our cameras that caught it. I'm like, okay, I'm not going crazy. That was real.
Well, I know how to scare the crap out of him because I tell him about these two little girls that are standing behind him staring at him.
Yeah. My fiance here, Jamie, she's a medium, so she sees things that I can't, and usually I can feel things around me, but whenever they're not bad spirits or I don't really feel them. So she says that sometimes whenever we're doing the show, there's two little girls that stand next to me, and I can always tell whenever they're here because she'll look just straight past me, right at them, and it just freaks me out sometimes.
Well, see, like just the other night, I was, doing a patrol, and we have different loading docks, and you have to go down this ramp area, and where trucks park, and I was locking up some doors down there, and I caught something out of the corner of my eye, so I look, and this thing, if I didn't know better, I would have said it was the Undertaker from WWE.
Wow.
And this thing was like 6 foot plus, black trench coat, the black hat, looked at me directly, the brightest red eyes I've ever seen, shook his head, turned around, and then just kept walking.
I've seen the same thing before.
I would.
So, and I've been Googling, it's like, is that Hat Man? Is that Shadow Man? Is that like a bad omen? Is that, I was nervous. I'm like, oh no.
Definitely. I would just be out of there.
And that's the one that we caught on our cameras.
Oh, wow.
Y'all two would be like having heart attacks, and I'll be there standing there looking at it, communicating with it, or I'll just be standing there smiling at it and be like,
yeah, it's like, what was that? What just happened? Like, I'm not crazy, but I know I just saw this.
right. Like, this one time I was sitting in the living room, and he was in there in the bedroom, and the light automatically, it's like the light, it's hard to explain. I gotta wrap my brain up a minute. I've told this thing so many times, I gotta wrap my brain up again. Okay, so I was sitting in the living room, he was in there in the bedroom, I was sitting in the living room coloring and watching TV, and next thing you know, the TV goes off, the light goes off, I felt a hand on my shoulder, and there was scratch marks on my side.
Oh, wow.
And I started screaming like, come here. I started freaking out and panicking, and he come in there, he's like, the light blew, you're okay, you're fine. I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm like, I don't know what it was. It scared the Jesus Christ out of me. I've never been that scared before. Just like over at my uncle and aunt's house where they used to live. Well, they was in there asleep, and they have 3 boys. And this hand come from underneath the bed and pulled one of the legs of the boys, and the boys started kicking, and it grabbed the cover and ripped the cover off in the floor.
Oh, good Lord.
And the youngest one jumped up crying. But the mama and daddy's door was shut. And they ignored him.
Oh, wow.
And he run in there to me. And he grabbed a hold of me, and I said, what's wrong? I said, you okay? He said, no. He said, hold me. It's coming after me. And let me say, this little boy wasn't but 4 years old.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's scary.
His dad, it was not technically not his daddy, but his stepdaddy, I guess you can say. But they don't know that that's their stepdaddy.
Oh, I gotcha.
Yeah. He says that he can feel spirits and see spirits. Well, if he could feel them and see them, then he would have done something with that house he lived in. That little boy told me every single night that I was there what was going on. As soon as you walk in that house, you felt an evil presence in that house.
Oh, wow. That's not good.
Yeah, so I stayed up most of the night while this one over here was asleep, walking back and forth, making sure they was okay.
Well, that's good of you.
That's what the Auntie Gigi does.
Yep.
Yeah, well, you're the one that wanted to move into that house.
I did. Because I want to play with it.
See, now that would be fun.
It would. I would torment it back.
Yeah. Why not?
Exactly. I'd probably have him so scared he'd be up and out the house.
Oh, that's funny.
It is.
See, like we have one, I guess, ghost or spirit at work, and she will not cross over. But she only talks to us to only a couple of us. And the first time I saw her, I thought she was a real person. And just the sweetest lady you could ever want to meet. And she's like, no, you just need to sit here for a minute. Like, why? She's like, trust me, just stay put.
No.
I'm like, no, I got to be on patrol. She's like, and she kind of got a little cranky pants with me. She's like, I told you to sit put. Okay. And I'm not going to argue with a woman ever. And because I sat put and did what she told me, it was not 2 minutes later. If I would have ignored her, we had a couple people that were racing around the area. They would have hit me.
Oh, wow.
So she's more like, I got more of like a protector, and she really loves us. And she protects the people there.
Wow, that's awesome.
And it's like, I'll take it.
Right.
And she's like, I'm like, do you want to cross over? And she's, no. She said, I need to watch out for my people here. I'm happy here. Okay.
See, these little girls that are here, they don't talk. They sit here, and sometimes when you're on the phone with somebody, like when we're, like you, they're sitting here and they're waving at you.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They're waving at you, and they won't talk. They've never talked. I don't know how they died. Or
Well,
anything.
that's interesting.
I feel like they had died on this property where we live now. And they was an older lady and older man that used to live here. And I feel like that's their grandkids.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
That would make sense.
Yeah. And another thing. Sorry, go ahead.
No, it's okay.
Go ahead.
I was going to try to switch up the subject. 'Cause I'm
No,
getting
you
like
can't switch my subject up. This is mine and his time. Phew.
Okay.
But, See, another thing, when I went to my aunt and uncle's, there was this dude named Matthew there that was staying the night and helping my uncle work. And he was standing on the front porch. And next thing you know, he got grabbed by his arm and slung into a pole on the porch.
Oh, wow.
And he had a handprint on his arm where he got slung. And he started shaking and freaking out. And then we actually captured pictures of it. And next morning, I told my uncle about it. Didn't believe a word I said. Matthew done deleted all the pictures and said, "Oh, it was just a little game."
Oh, wow.
Yeah. See, I told my uncle that we had captured a spirit in his truck on a picture. It was a man. He had horns. He looked like a biker because it looked like he was wearing a leather jacket or leather vest. And he had a long gray beard. And he was wearing sunglasses. And he had the long hair. And he had a do-rag on.
Okay.
And he had, like, horns.
Interesting.
And I told my uncle that. He said, "Well, I done blessed my truck." I looked at him. I said, "If you blessed your truck, then what are they doing in your truck?"
Exactly.
I said, and then my Uncle Eddie, he brought a knife by. And it was used for sacrifices. And I seen it, and I touched it, and something tried to pull me in. And I dropped it, and I said no. I said, "I ain't going back. Take it. Get out of here."
Yeah, that's nothing to play with.
No.
So, what are your thoughts on the Ouija board and calling in spirits and people who just play around with them? And I lost my train of thought.
Okay. I would say, I've actually had a Ouija board at one point. I, tinkered with it,
Mm-hmm.
Not much. Nothing ever really came of it. Some people say it's like a gateway to the paranormal. You can do bad spirits or whatever. I'm not going to say that they're wrong, but like for me personally, nothing ever happened with it. I think it's, I kind of put it, what's the best way to put this? Like, more like a subconscious thing. Like if you're looking, you're going to see what like you want to see, maybe like subconsciously. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Kind of like if you're looking for a spirit, it's going to show itself, or you're going to be more open to that. But I think it's if trying to contact, your favorite aunt or grandma who's passed on, then I think you have a better chance of contacting them. But if you're looking for something not so friendly, I think you're going to attract that as well. So I think it's kind of like you get out what you put in.
I know that for a matter of fact. I opened a portal down to my grandparents. Tell him what happened to you.
What, whenever I was doing the EVP?
Yeah.
So she was in bed, and I was in the living room, and I decided to do an EVP session because her grandparents' house, we've had experiences there. And what was the question that I asked? It was, I asked a couple questions.
Do you want us here?
Yeah, it was, do you want us here? Forget the exact wording, but whenever I listened to it, I heard, "Get out."
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he come into the bedroom bawling.
Oh, jeez.
And when he come into the bedroom bawling, I started getting chills. I was like, you done woken that thing up again. And then I took, and we saged my old bedroom that I was staying in. And we heard stomping and stuff knocking over. It sounded like stuff was knocking over. And we walked down the highway and we was recording. And it says, James, Satan.
Well, I don't remember.
And I jumped. I was like, hey.
Oh, wow.
I said, no, you can go first.
You're like, no, I'm good. I'm staying put.
Yeah.
The funny thing, though, is whenever we're out trying to investigate places, who's the first one to just go into a place? That would be
It
me.
gonna be me, because I get the vibes that I'm not supposed to be there.
Yeah,
But sometimes I do.
I always walk in head first.
Oh, that's always a good way to go.
Sometimes I'll go in head first. Sometimes I'll just stop and look and think, like, do I really want to go in here? I said, because this one time in Fort Payne, there's this abandoned hospital, the old hospital.
Okay.
I walked by it, and I was going to walk in it. And something had grabbed me, and I jumped and looked, and there was a man standing there. And it wasn't no ordinary man, I hate to say. This dude was like, he looked like the Undertaker, like the one that you was talking about. He looked like the Undertaker.
Yeah.
And he stared dead at me and said, I'm going to kill you.
Oh, wow.
I was like, I'd like to see you try. I said, I'll scat before you can catch me.
See, now I have a question for you, because it was brought up on, I think there was a podcast done, and then it was another one of those shows on the junkyard thing that I was listening to. Now this is a working theory, so I don't know, so I'll get your opinion. Do you think people that have, like, what do they call it, the neurobiological disorders? Because I'm autistic and epileptic. And I find that I'm more, like, open to the paranormal. Do you think there's a correlation between the two?
Well, if you were truly open, like, let's see. I can explain, like, it's hard to explain. It's hard for me to explain a lot of stuff. Because I had to think of the right wording. Say, like, James. Okay. said that he's not open whatsoever to spirits and stuff. That's why he can't see the little girls.
Okay.
Yeah. If you were truly open to spirits, you can see them and hear them and contact them and everything like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, no, that's funny because before you told me about the two little girls, I was sensing them. I picked up on that like really quick.
Yeah.
I don't know why. And they seem like they're just like waving at me and just like smiling, like they're really happy.
Yeah. They are happy. I just don't know how to get them to talk. I have interacted with them before. I have put candy on the ground and put a teddy bear on the ground. And the teddy bear was in the air.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I said, "You like that?" Next thing you know, she started coming towards me. It's a little girl that had the blonde hair. She started walking towards me. And she was trying to give me a hug.
Oh, how sweet.
Yeah.
See, I think that's why I'm not susceptible to it, because I personally can only feel the bad energies. I can't really, for some reason, feel like the good energies.
Okay, see, and that makes sense too.
But I think, to elaborate on what you were saying, I think like the neurological disorders or something like that, I think maybe people that have like something slightly different with their brains might be like how you hear like children can interact and see things that, you know, grown-ups can't. I think that's because their brains aren't completely formed, and they're more susceptible to that interaction of the otherworldly realm, just like someone that might have like autism or Asperger's or something like that.
When kids are younger, I can tell you how it is. When kids are younger, they are more open when they're younger than they are when they get older.
Oh, yeah, I agree. 100%.
Because my baby brother, when I stayed down there with him, he would used to always sit in his bedroom and smile and laugh and giggle. And his door would close and he'll be sitting on his bed. He wouldn't have moved or nothing. And you would hear him talking, and then you would hear a woman talking. And one day I put a video camera in there. And I showed my biological mom that, and she looked at me like, "Who in the world? What the world?" She started freaking out. And when she started freaking out, the door slammed and it locked.
Oh, geez.
And she couldn't get in there. And I told her, "Back up, leave him alone, he's fine." I said, "It's just his grandmother." So, yeah.
That's interesting. That's really cool.
Yeah. I've had a bunch of scary stuff and a lot of sweet people.
I prefer the sweet ones.
Some of the meanings are, whew.
Oh, they can be just mean.
Tell you, I know that. I've had knives flying at me.
Oh, good Lord.
Yeah, I was at my cousin's house. They live in Fife, and I was in their house. I stayed the night with him, and we was chilling and stuff. And next thing you know, the pots and pans fell off. And I walked through the kitchen to see what it was, and the pots and pans was laying on the floor. And my aunt jumped up, running there, looked at me, and her eyes was pure black.
Oh,
I looked
good
at
Lord.
her, I said, "Be gone." It was a smile, just a smile, with pure hatred. And I hollered for my cousin, and he come in there and looked at me. He grabbed me by my wrist and said, "Let's get the out of here."
Yeah, I'd be running.
And we run back to his bedroom, and he locked the door, and she come beating on the door, hollering. And next thing you knew, he had a whole collection of knives, and they was open because we was playing with them earlier that day to sharpen them. And they started flying off the shelf where we had them. Missed me by an inch from my shoulder.
Oh, good Lord.
I said, "Whoop." He looked at me, he's like, "Oh my God, what did you bring in this house?" I said, "I didn't bring nothing, it come out to me." Yeah.
Yeah, I would not be happy about that.
I wouldn't either. That's why I don't like staying the night over there, and I won't go stay the night. I don't care to go stay for a little bit, but I ain't staying the night. But yeah, that's just one of the crazy things that's happened to me. Just one.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah. One day I was walking on the hill where we're staying at right now. It was just me and James wasn't together at the time. I was about 13, and I was walking down the road up here, walking back and forth, and next thing you know, there was a rock, and it hit me on the arm. It wasn't a real big rock. It was probably about the size of a quarter.
Okay.
And I kept walking like, okay, what do you want? I started heading back up here towards where my great-grandfather lives. And there was a man standing in the front yard with a pitchfork.
Oh, Lordy.
Oh, yeah. And the pitchfork went flying and missed me and went into a tree. And there was this thing, I couldn't tell what it was whatsoever. It started charging at me. And once it got up closer, it looked like a dog, like a wolf dog.
Really?
Mm-hmm. It had red eyes. And it still lingers these woods today, because I've seen it.
Oh, I can't. There's a word for that. I can't think of what it is.
I can't think of the name of it. I know the name of it, but I can't think of the name of it.
It's, yeah, there's a word for it, but I can't remember.
But it's crazy.
Yeah.
But there's so much stuff in this world that's good, and there's so much in this world that's like evil that no one knows. My grandparents, I've told my grandmother what has happened to me, and she don't believe a word that comes out my mouth.
But it looks like we're actually at the end of the show. That was actually really quick.
Oh, wow. Golly, that was quick.
But it was really nice talking to you, and if you ever want to call in the future, feel free.
Oh, I definitely will. Thank you so much for having this.
Oh, thank you for calling in. It was actually a real pleasure speaking with you.
It was.
Oh,
it was amazing.
As you too, yeah.
Well, I hope you have a wonderful night.
Yeah, you too.
All right.
Thank you. Talk to y'all later.
All right.
See you.
Bye.
Bye.
And that was awesome. So, since it's the end of the show, we want to wish everyone a good
Night in time and space.